Oh, here we go again with that same old story everyone's already heard. Women keep saying they want the nice guy, the one who picks up the phone on the first ring, who drops everything just to be the doormat she walks all over. Yeah, right. We all know the truth, don't we? Deep down, they can't get enough of the guy who does exactly the opposite, the one who couldn't care less about pleasing her. Why? Because behind all that talk, what they really crave is a challenge. It's the mystery, the unpredictability, and yes, a bit of audacity that makes their hearts beat faster. It's not that this turns you into a villain, it just makes you interesting. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about here. I'm going to show you 10 not-so-healthy traits that they secretly love, even though they'll never admit it. Oh, and let me warn you, use this wisely, or you'll go from irresistible to manipulative. And no one's telling you to become a complete jerk, right? So, let's cut to the chase. Number 1, be unreachable. Alright, open your ears and pay attention. What I see the most out there are guys begging for crumbs of attention, sitting around like fools waiting for her next hey message. And guess what? That just makes you seem predictable, disposable, like a doormat that everyone steps on without even noticing. The reality is, the easier you make yourself, the less value you have. Listen up. Scarcity creates desire. If you're the kind of guy who answers every message right away, responds in seconds, and always says yes to whatever she suggests, it's time to swallow your pride and accept that you're just second-rate entertainment. Where's the challenge in that? Where's the mystery? It's like serving a 5-star meal for free at a street food stall. Who's going to value that? No one! Because if it's easy, it's not desirable. If you're always there, available, you lose the appeal. Women, even if they don't admit it, want to feel like they're earning something, that each crumb of attention you give is a reward for merit, not charity. Want to know how to do that? Create an aura of unavailability. Make her feel like you're the kind of guy who's not found around every corner. It's not about being rude or ignoring everything. It's about balance. Give her enough to know you're there, but never so much that she feels she's got you in the palm of her hand. Think about it. If she knows she can reach you at any moment, where's the challenge? Her brain won't fry with that what-if question, that anxiety of not knowing if you're busy with something more interesting or just taking some time because you've got other priorities. And this is where the psychology of desire kicks in. Scarcity makes the brain want more. Just like that ridiculously expensive handbag she'll never buy but spends her life wanting, be the guy who's not available 24/7, who doesn't jump for joy when he gets a "Hey stranger" text. You're not a pet to be stroked whenever she feels like it, are you? So stop acting like one! It's not about playing hard to get or playing cheap games. It's about respecting yourself enough for her to realize you're a prize, not a consolation prize. Make it clear that your presence isn't something she's going to get every time she snaps her fingers. And how do you do that? Easy. Stop answering messages as soon as they arrive. Wait. Do other things. Value your time, and preferably, let it be clear that you're the busy guy. When she realizes that being with you isn't as easy as a click on her phone, that's when she'll start chasing after you. You've got to become a gap, a question mark in her mind. She should be wondering, is he busy? Is he with someone else? Does he really not care about me? It's in that uncertainty where the magic happens. Because when you finally show up, my friend, it'll be like the Messiah himself has descended from the cross. And every second you spend together will have a different flavor. The flavor of something earned, not something thrown at her feet on a silver platter. So stop being that loyal little puppy wagging its tail at every scrap of attention and turn into something rare. Because only what's rare is truly desired. Number 2, be difficult. Want to know what really irritates a woman? It's that guy who agrees with everything, who caves to every whim, who does everything to please her even if it means losing his own identity. Oh, but she said she wants a guy who listens, who understands, who's always there no matter what. Lies. Because what she says and what she really wants are two completely different things. They might complain about guys who are a bit more complicated, stubborn even, but I'll let you in on a secret. Those are the guys they can't get out of their heads. Women want a man who has a bit of courage to say no, who doesn't dance to her tune, and who doesn't bend at every request. Tired of being ignored after weeks of being her doormat? Then, here's the tip. Stop being that nice guy 24/7. A little bit of complexity sets you apart from all the others bending over backwards to please her. Because when you're too easy, too predictable, she loses interest in record time. The reality is that ease bores her. There's not a shred of excitement in something that comes without the slightest effort. Have you ever seen anyone proud of winning a trophy for a game no one wanted to play? Look, women don't want a doormat. They want a challenge. And being difficult, and I mean truly difficult, not that fake, I'll take longer to reply just to seem interesting stuff, shows that you know your worth. It shows that you won't drop everything just because she pouted or threatened to walk away. And guess what? That only increases her desire. Because when you stand firm, what do? You raise the standard. You put another step she has to climb to reach you. And that, my friend, makes her put in the effort to impress you, to earn a piece of your attention. That's what you want, right? For her to see you as something valuable, something that needs to be conquered. Have you noticed that the guys who always say yes, who agree to everything, who go along with every little thing she says, are precisely the ones she tosses aside like an old toy? The truth hurts, but here it is. No one values what's handed to them on a silver platter. And that goes not only for material things, but also for the emotional field. If you're always there, ready to satisfy every whim, you're not doing her a favor, you're diminishing yourself. And when you diminish yourself, don't expect her to put you on a pedestal. On the contrary, when you set your limits, when you say no from time to time, she realizes she needs to put in more effort. Because your attention doesn't come easy. Your consideration isn't there to be snatched up at the first shout. It's in that resistance where you position yourself as someone valuable. She's going to have to fight to win you over, rise to your level. And when that happens, you not only keep her interested for a much longer time, but you place yourself in a position few can reach. So stop being that guy she knows she can get whenever she wants. You're not a toy left in the corner of the room. Stand your ground, set your limits, and most importantly, hold those limits. She needs to know that your respect isn't something she earns just because she asked nicely. If you want to be truly desired, then learn to be difficult. Because that's when the magic happens. When you make her realize that having you isn't a right, it's a privilege. Number 3, be authentic, no apologies. Stop being that nice guy who hides behind masks just to please her. Quit trying to be perfect because let me tell you something, no one's perfect. And they know it. Most guys turn into chameleons, changing their colors and behavior just to impress, thinking that'll work. But you know what? That only screams insecurity. And there's nothing more off-putting than a guy who's afraid to show who he really is. Want to be truly authentic? Own your flaws. Do you like something unusual? Who cares? Show it off! They have a radar for detecting fake behavior, and anyone who tries to be perfect just ends up as another predictable loser. The secret is to stand out by being you, because someone who doesn't apologize for who they are sends the most powerful message of all: pure confidence. Women are sick and tired of running into guys who seem like TV characters, who have no opinion of their own, and who change based on what they think she wants. The guy who says what he thinks, who doesn't play around, and who doesn't try to please 100% of the time, that's the guy who stands out. That's what it means to be authentic. It doesn't mean being a rude jerk, but it does mean knowing who you are and not changing that for anyone. She wants to feel like she's beside someone secure, someone who won't bend at the first criticism or apologize for being imperfect. So stop trying to be the ideal and start being real, because authenticity is the only thing that truly attracts. If you're tired of being treated like an idiot, of being the doormat she tramples over and then throws away without a second thought, then it's time to wake up. Check out the digital book in the description of this video. After reading it, you'll learn how to be cold and calculated, how to leave no room for disrespect, and how to master the art of putting any woman in her place. Stop swallowing disrespect. Stop humiliating yourself. Start being the man she not only respects, but is afraid to lose. This is the moment the game changes. It's time to put your life in order, once and for all. Number 4, don't submit to her commands. I'll give it to you straight. Want to lose a woman's respect faster than you can blink? Become her obedient puppy who jumps at her every command. Oh, she says she wants a guy who listens, who follows her suggestions, who's there to please. And you fall for it. Hook, line, and sinker. But then, suddenly, she's bored, disinterested, like you're just another doormat at her disposal. Why? Because that's exactly what happens when you bow down to every whim she has. A man who knows what he wants, who takes the lead and sets the pace, is a man who attracts. It might sound controversial, but it's the harsh truth. Submission doesn't equate to respect. It doesn't matter if it's 2024 or 3024, the nature of things stays the same. Women don't respect weakness. They may not say it out loud, but that's how it works. When you start molding yourself to her every desire, every request, she simply loses interest. This doesn't mean being a tyrant who controls her every move. It means standing firm in your decisions, knowing what you want, and not letting her dictate every detail of your life. It's about having the clarity to say that, with or without her, your path is set. That's what makes her look at you with admiration, not like a toy she can manipulate at will. So, stop being the follower. Take the reins, be the guy who leads, who initiates. Because deep down, that's the type of man she really wants beside her. Number 5, don't be afraid to lose her. You know what really kills any kind of attraction? Seeing a man terrified at the idea of losing a woman, as if she's the last slice of pizza at a party. If you act out of that fear, you're done. You're basically signaling that she's an unattainable trophy, and you're just a pathetic contestant doing flips not to end up empty-handed. Confidence isn't just attractive, it's mandatory. And true confidence is being comfortable with the idea of losing her. When you act like a frightened puppy, what are you saying? That you need her more than she needs you. That she's the top of the mountain, and you're just a poor soul struggling to climb. That imbalance of power only serves to shatter attraction. On the other hand, when you show that, yes, you like her, but you don't depend on her for anything, that is strength. She can tell that you value her, but your self-worth doesn't come from her. Understand this. Nobody likes feeling needed. Women are attracted to men who are complete on their own, who don't freak out at the thought of getting dumped. Show her that you're there because you want to be, not because you need to be. And the moment she senses that you won't be crawling at her feet, the game changes. Because you're not with her out of desperation. You're there because you chose to be. So swallow that ridiculous fear of losing her. Because the more terrified you are, the more insecure you'll look. And when insecurity shows up, attraction goes out the back door. Make it clear that, although she's important, you are the real prize. If she stays, great. If she leaves, whatever. Because the man who knows his worth, the man who doesn't have to bend over backwards to keep a woman, that is the man who truly attracts. Number 6, put your purpose first. Want to know what really separates men from boys? The ability to prioritize. You can be the most charming, well-dressed guy at the party, but if you don't have a purpose, you're just a pretty ornament with no function. And guess what? She'll get bored of you faster than someone gets tired of the same old pop song on the radio. A man without ambition is like a car with no engine. It may look good from the outside, but it's not going anywhere. Putting your goals, passions, and dreams at the top of the list is what makes you genuinely attractive. It shows that you're not there just to fill space, but because you have a mission. And a guy with a mission, with a hunger for success and achievement, is someone who radiates strength. Because deep down, every woman wants to be with a man who knows what he wants and doesn't stray from his path to please anyone. Remember, she wants security. But we're not just talking about money here. It's emotional and intellectual security, knowing that you're the type of guy who will stay firm even when everything else crumbles. If you want to capture her respect and not just her fleeting interest, then have the guts to show her that you're on a journey, that you have a mission. And honestly, she might join you on that journey, but she won't be the center of your life. Your purpose is your compass. And a man who makes it clear that nothing will steer him off course, that he's not at the mercy of anyone's whims, is the guy who truly stays in her memory. Because at the end of the day, no one respects a man who places any relationship above his own dreams. Number 7. Detach from the outcome. See that guy who doesn't seem to care whether he wins or loses? You know why women flock to him like bees to honey. Because he exudes something few have: freedom. Desperation is repulsive. The more you try to force a result, be it a relationship, attention, or approval, the more you become repulsive. What they really want is a man who can walk away at any moment without looking back, someone who's not tied to outcomes. It's like a poker game. The guy desperate to win ends up giving away his entire hand. And it's obvious. When you're not hung up on the ending, whether things work out or not, you project that you have something few possess: options. And guess what? Nothing makes a woman more intrigued than a man who suddenly seems hard to reach. I'm not saying you should be indifferent or pretend not to care. The point here is not to be attached to a specific outcome. Want her to notice you? Great. She doesn't? That's fine too. It won't change your life. This nonchalance shows that you're a high-value man, not begging for attention or validating your existence on a yes or no. When you can be indifferent to the outcome, she senses it, and that's when, paradoxically, she starts wanting you more. Because a man who detaches from the outcome is a man who stands out, and at the end of the day, the one who stands out is the one who stays in her memory. Number 8. Have female friends. This is a psychological trick that goes straight to her subconscious. Want to know why having female friends is so effective? Because it shows that you're not just any guy. If other women already find you interesting enough to be around, it lights up an alert in her mind. Hey, what does this guy have that's so special? And before you know it, interest appears almost automatically. This is what we call social proof. If you're surrounded by female friends, she assumes there's something valuable about you. And that's when the game shifts in your favor. Plus, you won't come off as the guy who lives isolated, desperate for a sliver of female attention. On the contrary, you become the guy who already has options. And believe me, that position of power is almost irresistible. There's something else. No woman likes feeling that there's no competition. They're competitive by nature, especially when it comes to romantic interests. So, when she sees you surrounded by other women, it triggers her competitive instinct. Suddenly, she'll want to be the one who stands out among the others, the one who manages to capture your attention above all. It's an almost unconscious mechanism, but it works like magic. So stop avoiding female friendships thinking it'll make you seem less masculine. Having female friends shows that you're socially validated and confident enough to be surrounded by women without losing yourself. And you know what? That's when she starts to see you differently. Number 9. Be playfully dominant. Need a slap in the face to wake up? Then listen closely. Stop being that guy who shrinks back, who accepts anything with a forced smile just to avoid displeasing her. She doesn't want a doormat, a man with no backbone who agrees with everything she says. She wants someone who challenges her, who truly takes the lead, but without turning into a controlling jerk. It's about being dominant, but with a light touch, with that sharp humor that says, I know what I'm doing, and you're going to like it. When you know exactly what you want and you're not afraid to stand your ground, even in a playful and teasing way, it sparks a natural respect in her. She feels she's in the presence of a man who won't crumble at the first sign of drama, a man who leads the interaction and knows how to play the game. And you know what? That's what really attracts her. She doesn't want a little boy who runs after her every time she pulls away a little. She wants that man who, with a sly smile on his face, can turn the tables. Being playfully dominant is about knowing when to push and when to pull back, showing that you're in control, but in such a natural and charismatic way that she simply surrenders. You set the boundaries, lead the situation, and she's intrigued because she knows she's dealing with a man who won't bow down just to please. But at the same time, you're not that annoying, controlling guy who's exhausting just to be around. So position yourself. Stop walking on eggshells around her and start laying down the cards. Tease her, create that tension, and when she least expects it, you'll be in control without even raising your voice. Because the truth is, you need to be the guy who, with a simple eyebrow raise and a sarcastic comment, can turn the situation to your advantage. Being dominant in a light-hearted way is like walking a tightrope. It shows you don't have to force things to be respected. And that balance is what separates the men from the boys. Summing up, either you learn to lead with humor and firmness, or you'll keep being the clown of her circus. Because those who don't know how to stand their ground end up being the joke. And if you're watching this video, it's because you're tired of being the joke, right? Then stop settling for crumbs. It's not about being aggressive or intimidating, but about showing that you're in control of your own life. And if she wants to be part of it, she'll have to fit into your terms. If not, the exit's right there and you won't even bother looking back. Be the man who can control the situation with a touch of humor and charm, who keeps a smile on his face while setting the rules. Because true power doesn't need to shout, it's felt. And when she feels that in you, my friend, it's game over. You'll be the one dealing the cards and she'll be more than willing to play. So my friend, it's time to face the truth. If you keep being that nice guy who tries to please all the time, who accepts everything silently and is scared to death of being rejected, don't expect respect or attraction. Do you want to be the kind of man they truly desire? Then stand your ground, set boundaries, and make it clear that, with or without her, you'll keep moving forward. They don't want a follower with no voice. They want a leader who knows how to be firm, who knows what he wants, and who doesn't bend at the slightest whim. That's what separates men from boys, the ability to be relentless, confident, and keep control without having to be rude. In the end, it's simple. Either you take the reins and set the pace, or you'll keep being a supporting actor in your own story. Stop settling for leftovers and be the guy who sets the rules, the one they'll remember as the man who didn't let anyone intimidate him. If you liked this video, you know what to do. Leave a like and comment below what you think. And if you didn't, well, that's your problem, not mine. Subscribe to the channel to stop being a background character and become the main character of your life. See you in the next video.